Okay, hello everyone. This is the lecture for week 3. Today I'm going to talk about chapter 12, which is Six Sigma and Quality. So within this, there's 3 main learning objectives with this chapter: explaining the scope of total quality management in a firm, understanding the Six Sigma approach to improving quality and productivity, and illustrating global recognized quality benchmarks. So the text talks a little bit about Disney and their obsession with quality and innovation. And why do people continue to love Disney products? And it's because Disney has this focus on quality and innovation, and it's a never ending, it's always a pursuit. I think when you look at Six Sigma, when you look at Lean, when you look at the companies that are always the forerunners in their field, it's because they have an unrelenting pursuit of quality and an unrelenting pursuit of innovation. So if you think about Disney and focusing specifically on the Orlando theme park, it's 40 square miles, it's 4 or 5 theme parks, 2 water parks, there's dozens of hotels, multiple golf courses, weddings, shopping, entertainment, and they have 70 to 80,000 employees that keep really it moving forward, and they drive innovation. Disney also utilizes quality management, and this is something. This comes from the Toyota system of production, and total quality management. It's managing the entire organization so that it excels on all dimensions of products and services that are important to the customer. So there's 2 fundamental operational goals. We want to be careful. We want to have a careful design of the product or service, and we make sure that we're ensuring that the organization systems can consistently produce a design. I've said this before in the course. The biggest key, the biggest component to having a quality product is having a sustainable, repeatable process. You can only be achieved if the entire organization is oriented towards total quality management. The organization has to be focused on those 2 fundamental goals. And that's where we do get that term for total quality management, because the organization has to be obsessive about quality. When you start to talk about total quality management, the biggest award a firm can get in this field is the Malcolm Baldrige National Quality Award. And this is an award that was established by the U.S. Department of Commerce. It's given annually to companies that excel in quality. You do have to apply for it. It's not something where they seek you out and recognize you. It is, you are recognized upon your application. The Baldrige Award is it's given to organizations that that they've demonstrated that they have this outstanding. Not just above average, but just top 1% of outstanding quality in their products and processes. And as we've talked about, a quality product comes from a quality process that is sustainable and repeatable. The award program is administered by the National Institute of Standards Technology. That is a sub-agency of the U.S. Department of Commerce. And a total of 18 awards are given annually, and they're given in multiple different categories, such as manufacturing, service, small business, education, healthcare, nonprofit. So you aren't going to have a small family-run business going up against 3M for the award. They're going to fit into different categories. When you look at the Baldrige Award, there's 7 main categories they're going to be judged on: leadership, strategic planning, customer and market focus, information analysis, human resource focus, process management, business results. Applications are on a total score of 1,000. The scoring, those scoring over 650 get selected for an on-site visit, which will help decide the final winner. It's like an interview or an audit process. Other benefits about going through this process include you get feedback from the Baldrige examiners. It's an audit report. And then many states use this Baldrige criteria as a basis for their own awards. So you could have quality awards within your state, be it Missouri or Illinois or Arkansas or California. So, something that when you start to consider quality, there's going to be 3 main gurus, if you will, that you're going to see highlighted in text and articles. There's going to be Crosby, Deming, and Uran. Duran. I've taken from all of them in my studies and in my professional life. I've always aligned a little bit more with Deming and his 14 points for management uh, as kind of the most. And I also like that he has an understanding that quality has many scales. Um, and they use statistics and they measure the performance in all areas. And really it can fit the industry, whereas Crosby focuses on zero defects. So when we start to look at quality as a function of Six Sigma and some of the costs, so there is design quality. So there is an inherent value of the product in the marketplace. Conformance quality, the degree to which the product or service design specifications are met. There's an appraisal cost, which is the cost of the inspection and testing to ensure the product or process is acceptable. So after it comes off your production line, your cost to assess the quality of it. Prevention costs. So this is anything you do as far as scrapping material. It's processes you put in place to hold the processes steady. There's internal failure costs. There's external failure costs, and these are costs. So internal is when you for the defects that are occurred within your system, you catch them, and there's not an external cost to that. There's not an external damage. However, there is an external failure cost, and this is cost defects that pass through the system. They get out to the public. And I want you to consider when you look at external failure cost, just consider damage to your brand and the impact on brand equity. Because we all have bought a product from a company and the product has not lived up to what we expected. And then we associate that company with less than desirable quality, and maybe we don't buy from them ever again. The first car I bought by myself was a Dodge Dakota. Chrysler's notorious for not having the best quality when compared to Honda, Toyota, even Chevrolet and Ford. I'll never buy another Chrysler product again because I had so many issues with that Dodge. When we look at some of the dimensions of design quality, performance, is the primary product or service characteristics. What are the features? What's the reliability, durability? How are we measuring that? How are we designing that? What's the serviceability? Is it easy to repair? What are the aesthetics? Does it look good? And what is the perceived quality? So that ties into brand equity. Six Sigma is a philosophy and set of methods companies use to eliminate defects in their products and processes. It seeks to reduce variation in the processes that lead to product defects. The name Six Sigma often refers to a goal of no more than 4 defects per million units. And then DPMO, defects per million opportunities, is a key phrase that you're going to come across in Six Sigma research. You'll also look at DMIC, the DMIC cycle. So it's defining, identifying our customers and their priorities, measure, determine how we're going to measure the processes and how it's performing, analyze, determine the most likely cause of defects, improve, and that's identify the means to remove the cause of the defects, and control. And that's determining how to maintain the improvements. So some Six Sigma analytical tools that you may use: a flow chart, a run chart, a Pareto chart, a check sheet, a cause and effect diagram, opportunity flow diagram, process control chart. There's a lot of documentation in Six Sigma because you want to document where you are, where you want to go, how you're going to go there, and then do you ever get there? If you got there, are you measuring it? Are you controlling it? Are you sustaining it? So some additional Six Sigma tools, FMEA, which is a failure mode and effect analysis. It's a structured approach that helps you identify, estimate, prioritize, and evaluate risk or possible failures at each stage of the process. Design of experiments, or DOE, statistical methodology. It's going to help us determine the cause and effects relationship between process variables and outputs. Lean Six Sigma combines the implementation of quality controls, such as Lean Six Sigma, with the inventory management concept of lean manufacturing. These are both very heavily connected with Toyota manufacturing method, but also with other Japanese auto manufacturers. Nissan and Honda are really where a lot of these took popular root and then started being copied by other companies. And a lot of what happened was, if you were a supplier to Honda, a supplier to Toyota, they require that you conduct Lean and Six Sigma. And then let's say that this, company A supplies Honda and Toyota. They start doing Lean and Six Sigma, but they also supply Ford. And Ford notices this company's quality's gone up, their price has gone down, And then Ford goes, oh, they're doing Lean Six Sigma. We're going to do it also. I'm not saying that's how Ford started doing Lean Six Sigma. That just is typically how business initiatives spread. When we look at Six Sigma roles and responsibilities, executive leaders must be the champions of the process, and they must drive improvement. They must live improvement. They must be examples of this. They cannot just say, you do this, we're not going to do it. They have to buy in. They have to lead by example. There has to be corporation-wide, across the whole business environment, there has to be training in these concepts and tools. They have to make sure it stays relevant. They have to make sure that the employees are living it, engaging it, and that the employees are buying into it. Possibly incentivizing it. You want to set stretch objectives for your improvement. So you want to have manageable goals. Like our defective parts per million is 1,000 this year, and our end goal is 4. But you know what? We're going to cut it from 1,000 to 500, and we're going to cut it from 500 to 100, and we're going to cut it from 100 to 20, and then 20 to 4. And you have these goals. And that first year, you may say, we're going to try to go from 1,000 to 500, and that's our goal. But our stretch goal is 250. Continuous reinforcement and rewards, like I just talked about. We also go over in the text, we go over the Shingo system, which is a fail-safe design. So Shingo's argument is that supplier quality control methods do not prevent defects. Defects arise when people make errors. Defects can be prevented by providing workers with feedback on errors, successive checks, a self-check, teach them how to check their own work, source inspections, and including poke-yoke. So poke-yoke is a fascinating concept. A great example is in an automated assembly line, you will have a part that you know is bad, and you'll put it in your batch. It should stop the line. If that poke-yoke does not stop the line, you have quality issues in your line, or you have quality issues with your operators. ISO 9000, ISO 14000, it's a series of international standards agreed upon by the International Organization for Standards, ISO. It was adopted in 1987. It's used in more than 160 countries. It is, it's not a prerequisite for global competition, but oftentimes I work in procurement. I will not do business with someone that is not ISO certified or in the process of it. ISO 9000 is an internal reference for quality. ISO 14000 primarily is concerned with environmental management. There's a few different other ISO standards, maybe for medical, maybe for service industries, maybe for human resources. Within ISO, there's 7 quality management principles, specifically in the ISO 9000 certification. These are based on customer focus, leadership, involvement of the people, process approach, continual improvement, factual approach to decision-making, mutual beneficial supplier relationships. There are 3 forms of ISO certification. There is a first party, so a firm audits itself against the ISO standards. So you can self-audit, but unless you are a certified auditing body, you can't necessarily claim that you're ISO certified. Second party audits are when the customer audits its suppliers. So that would mean that if you do and you meet all the ISO standards and you supply to Honda, you could be Honda certified. But to truly be ISO certified, it's got to be a third-party supplier. It's a qualified national or international standard auditor. They're certified by the ISO agency, and then you submit your package, and ISO grants you the standard. So, in summary, total quality management, it's a comprehensive approach to quality. Your 2 main goals are going to be design of the product and the service, and ensuring consistency. Because remember, quality comes from repeatable, sustainable consistency in your processes. Quality specifications are fundamental to a sound quality program. Processes are designed, so design specifications are met when the product is produced or the service is delivered. Cost related to quality may be difficult to measure. Six Sigma projects 5 steps. So Six Sigma projects have 5 steps: define, measure, analyze, improve, control. I would add a 6th one: review, and then start the cycle over again. Six Sigma and quality improvement should never stop. Often fail-safe procedures can be included in a process. So remember poke-yokes. The International Organization for Standardization has developed specifications to define best quality processes. The two you're most often going to come in are ISO 9000 and ISO 14000. And I know that was a short 15-minute lecture, but that is the topic this week. If you do want to talk about Six Sigma more, if you want to learn more about Toyota's system of manufacturing, I'm always open for a conversation on it. I'd love to hear your thoughts, hear your questions, maybe challenge my knowledge and even help me grow. So thank you, everyone. Have a great week.